Buenos noches, damas y caballeros. As promised, we are back. At maganda itong na-monitor ng team natin na isa sa mga kaganapan kanina sa Senate hearing ng Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability sa House of Representatives ay lumabas pala itong si Vice President Sara Duterte ay kinopya ang magandang programa ni Vice President Leni Robredo sa Office of the Vice President at ginamit niya itong programa na ito para para i-justify yung paghingi ng 125 million confidential funds for the Office of the Vice President in year 2022 and 612 million in year 2023. So, dyan natin nakikita na wala nang originality but di umano corrupt pa itong Office of the Vice President at nakakatuwa, very ironical that yung tao na halos patayin na lang nila noon si Vice President Leni Robredo, pinapahiya, inichapwera, iniimbentuhan ng storya, yung may affair daw siya sa isang congressman ng Quezon City, pagkatapos na at saka yung tuwing tititigan siya ni Duterte parang hinuhubaran na siya. Pagkatapos si Sara kung ano-anong insulto sinasabi ni VP Leni Robredo na bobo, kine-question yung victory niya sa 2016 Vice Presidential election laban kay Senator. Siyempre ngayon President Bongbong Marcos kasi sinasabi nila na si Bongbong Marcos talaga nanalo sa Vice Presidential election in 2016. So, kumbaga, kinakawawa talaga nila masyado si VP Leni Robredo. Yung pala, kokopyahin lang pala niya yung magandang proyekto na nakakatulong masyado sa tao. Pero hindi lang man humingi si VP Leni Robredo ng confidential funds. She did everything to ask help from the private sector kasi yung 700 million budget niya ay tamang-tama lang para ma-operate yung Office of the Vice President at mabayaran yung mga security personnel na ka-assign sa kanya. Hindi naman yun para sa kanya kasi mga ibang Vice President before her, ganun rin karami yung seguridad. In fact, humingi pa nga siya na pwede bawasan ng 100 na security personnel. Pinabawasan pa niya kumpara kay Sara na nadagdagan pa. Naging more than 400 security personnel pa. At lumabas rin dito sa hearing na ito, sa questioning o sa report ni Congresswoman Jinky na ito pala si Sara ay gumasta ng 90 as much as 90,000 para kada araw sa isang safe house ng mga tao daw na tinatago ni VP Sara kasi mga informants daw ito. So sabi pa ni Luis Tru, mas grabe pa ito sa pinakamahal na hotel dito sa Pilipinas. May mga hotel dito 25 to 50,000 a night lang. Samantala, anong hotel kaya yun dito sa bansa na mas mahal pa sa mga Conrad at ano pang hotel dito sa NCR, National Capital Region, 90 na bayaran mo 90,000 per day. So parang ito na yung mga hotel sa New York at Amsterdam at Switzerland, ha? Pero wala akong nakikita na hotel dito na kahit suite na sisingilin ka ng umaabot ng 90,000 a day. Ha? So yan. Pakinggan natin yung interpellation ni Jinky Luistro sa mga kapag question niya dito at presentation niya dito sa Senate sa House hearing on Good Government Committee. At habang kini-question niya yung mga opisyales ni Office of the Vice President or opisyales ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Pakinggan natin. Pasok, Batangas Congresswoman Jinky Luistro, ang magaling.
Mr. Chair, I wish to raise my questions to Ms. Villa Del Rey. Ma'am, you confirm that you are the Chief Accountant of OVP?
Yes, Your Honor.
May we know how long have you been working at the Office of the Vice President?
I was started in the OBP since 1990, Your Honor. I'm already in my 34th year.
1990.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you please share with us who was the Vice President then?
It was still Vice President Doy Laurel, Your Honor.
Doy Laurel.
Salvador Laurel.
My question for you, Ms. Villa Del Rey. Would it be correct to say that during the time of Vice President Duterte, there are two kinds of key officials? One are those who have been with the OVP for so long a time, like you. And the other kind are those who came along with the Vice President, either from Davao City LGU or from her electoral campaign. Would that be correct?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Kapag sinabi po ba natin na key officials who have been with the OBP for so long a time?
Okay guys, sorry, interrupt muna natin just to be factual kasi nagpadala ka agad sa akin ng yung team ko ng correction sa akin. Meron pala yung Amampulo Resort, hindi pa ako nakapunta rito. Pero ito parang bahay na talaga ito, ha? Parang hotel suite na talaga ito, may kitchen, bahay na talaga, may sarili kang mga butler dito na tutulong, 3 rooms. Amanpulo per night 96,709. Baka dito nilagay. Dito nilagay. Pero yung mga Westin 18,000 per night, yung ano pa ba? Yung mga kilala, ha? Average Okada. Andun kami kagabi sa Okada kasi nagninong tayo sa anak ng isang bilyonaryo kong neighbor dito kahit may resort sila na bilyon-bilyon halaga. Pero ewan ko ba bakit gusto pa gumasta doon sa Okada, yung resort nila malapit lang dito. So galing dito, na traffic pa kami, na late pa kami sa wedding. Ninong pa naman ako, nang marcha ako ng mag-isa. So sa Okada, 14 to 20 to 50,000 lang ang hotel per room. The price per room, Raffles Hotel 33,000, Shangri-La 20,000. Sa abroad wala kang choice, gumasta ka talaga ng malaki. So siguro ang pinakamalaki na spend ko 20,000 sa mga hotels per night or 30,000, pero hindi pa ako umabot more than 30,000 siguro. So yun, ha. Sa Okada nga meron mababa rin, mga 14,000, sa Shangri-La 21,000. So nakapagtataka ito kasi hindi naman itatago yan doon sa Amampulo. Itago yan kung saan lugar na hindi makikita makalaban nila kung totoo talaga. Ghost informers ito. Kaya dapat talaga malaman yung mga pangalan itong informer at ano ba yan? Baka sa Balisin, na Zoe. Mahal rin dyan, di ba? Umabot rin ng mga 90,000 na average per night. So tingnan natin. Baka dyan nilagay. Pero puwera biro, Pera natin yan, ha? Wag natin maliitin yan. So, sige, tuloy natin.
Po bang tawagin to na career officials?
Tama po, Your Honor.
And with respect to those who came along with the Vice President, either from Davao City LGU or from her electoral campaign, are these what we call the coterminous or confidential officials?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Just for the enlightenment of the committee, Ms. Villa del Rey, can you please cite at least some names of the key officials of OVP who are career officials?
From SG24 Division Head, Your Honor, down to rank and file, Your Honor. All other officials are coterminous or appointed officials.
You said SG24 down to rank and file are career officials.
Tama po, Your
So
Honor.
would it be correct to say that if the officials are higher than SG24, these are the confidential officials?
Coterminous and confidential officials, Your Honor.
What is the difference, if there is any, between coterminous and confidential officials?
For coterminous employees, officials, Your Honor, they are, as I understand din po ito, is within the term po of the current administration or the current Vice President.
And how about confidential officials, if there's any difference?
Same coterminous, Your Honor.
So there is no difference at all between coterminous and confidential officials. As a matter of fact, I have observed that these two terminologies are being used interchangeably. Do you confirm that, Ms. Villa del Rey?
For me, Your Honor, yes po.
Okay. With respect to the confidential officials or coterminous officials, can you please name some or few officials who were brought in to the OVP by Vice President Duterte?
Based on the positions, Your Honor, we have the Chief of Staff, the Assistant Chief of Staff, the Director for Operations, the Director for SMO, Director for Admin and Finance, and all other coterminous employees under the said officials.
Does that include the Special Disbursing Officer?
Yes, Your Honor.
What salary grade is SDO?
For our SDO, for confidential is, if tama po yung pagkakatanda ko, is SG24.
SG24, but earlier you said if it is SG24 down to rank and file, that is career officials. And if that is higher than SG24, then that will be confidential officials. Can you please enlighten us on this?
I-forward
There are
natin kasi
positions
medyo
po na
intro lang ito.
SG24, but they are
Administration.
Do you know Yusek Salaika Lopez?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Would you know where she came from before she assumed her position? at the
Tinatanong
OVP?
lang muna niya yung mga
During that
opisyalis
time, I
sa
believe
OVP.
Previously, she was the city administrator of...
And would you know how long she was employed as city administrator in Davao?
No, Mr. Chair. I have
Karamihan
not-
kasi
But
mga
at least
opisyalis
would you
niya
know
galing
how
Davao eh.
long was she connected with Davao City LGU
Mga
prior to
trusted
OVP?
niya sa Davao.
I cannot
Galing
remember, but during
Galing
the
City
first,
Hall,
my
napunta sa Office of the
payroll,
Vice President.
Of course, attachment of those documents are the service records, but I have no exact or number of years to tell the committee of Attorney Sulaika Lopez as employee of the Davao LGU.
How about Miss Gina Acosta? Do you know her?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Would you know where she came from?
Same from Davao LGU.
And would you know how long she was connected to Davao City LGU prior to her assumption of office at the OVP?
No, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, I just want to manifest that during the previous hearings, we were able to present already before the committee the confidential funds of the city of Davao since 1988.
Yan, maganda yan.
And if my memory serves me right,
Parehong
during
may
the time
pattern
of
talaga,
then
may
Mayor Sara
pattern.
Duterte,
From mayor
the
to
confidential
OVP.
fund was 420 million, and then it was raised to 460 million until she finished her term as mayor of Davao City.
So, talagang sanay na sanay si Sara sa confidential funds. At kaya dinala niya yung mga officials niya galing Davao dito sa OVP. Magaling rin gumalaw ang mga yan para i-cover up yung saan napupunta yung pera ng bayan. Kasi eksperto na nila yan doon pa sa 400 million confidential funds, yearly confidential funds ni Sara, minamagica na nila yan. Kumbaga baka doon andon na rin si Rose Mary Grace Piatos. Andon na rin si Mary Grace Piatos sa Davao pa lang. So nung pumunta sila ng Manila, inulit rin nila yan. Ang problema lang, doon sa Davao, hindi sila inimbestigahan. Kasi time ng tatay yun as president. Ngayon, na national position na, ayan na. Number 2 position pa. At nag-away sila ni Marcos, ayan na. Na-expose na lahat. Sana i-backtrack nyo. Pati yung sa Davao, imbestigahan nyo rin saan napunta yung 400 million yearly na confidential funds ni Sara as mayor of Davao.
Having this in mind, sir,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
would you agree with me if I would say that Yusek Zulaika Lopez and SDO Gina Acosta are well experienced with regards to confidential fund?
I cannot surmise, Mr. Chair, because
Well experienced. Ibig sabihin, magaling mang magic.
no knowledge of their position or participation in the Davao LGU.
Let us proceed to the fiscal and financial plan. I hope you are in the position to answer this. May we request the secretary to please flash the fiscal and financial plan. Based on this document, sir, the OVP requested for 250 million.
So in 2022, 250 talagang hiningi niya. Kaso lang, 125 lang binigay sa kanya ni President Marcos.
Funds. This is for the fourth quarter of 2022. Kaka-assume lang po ng opisina ng ating Vice Presidente. And this is for the implementation of the Good Governance Program. Do you confirm this?
I confirm the document, Mr. Chair.
And according to this document, the amount of 250 million confidential funds is supposed to be spent for a period of 3 months, equivalent to 90 days, representing the fourth quarter of 2022. Tama po ba?
I confirm, Mr. Chair.
And to be specific, that would mean October, November, and December of 2022.
I agree,
You
Mr.
confirm?
Chair.
And of course, you are aware also that the entire amount of 250 million was not approved. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And what was approved by the DBM only was 125 million. Tama po?
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Considering that the program that was presented to the DBM for that 250 million is 3 months, equivalent to 90 days, representing the last 3 months of the year 2022. Tama po bang sabihin that with regards to the approved 125 million confidential fund, this is supposed to be spent for a period of 1.5 months, equivalent to 45 days, part of the last quarter of 2022.
I I cannot tell that the amount of 125 million must be spent for 1.5 months, ma'am.
But at
Because
least, sir, if we will be basing it on the fiscal and financial plan, which presented the 250 million as expenses to be incurred for the last quarter of 2022, which is equivalent to 3 months or 90 days. If the DBM approve only one half, then it is reasonable to assume that 125 million representing one half is supposed to be spent in one half number of days of the supposed 90 days. And that is 45 days. Is that a reasonable interpretation?
yes, Mr. Chair, I think
It
that
is a
reasonable.
reasonable interpretation. Of course, we wish to manifest to the committee 250 million po ang request na confidential fund under the Good Governance Program. This is supposed to be spent during the last quarter of 2022. That is 3 months, equivalent to 90 days, and to be specific, the month of October, November, and December of the year 2022. Considering, Mr. Chair, that what was approved was only one half of the requested amount, that is 125 million, I wish to believe that this is supposed to be spent in one half of the presented period, that is 45 days or 1.5 months of the last quarter of 2022. Nonetheless, Mr. Chair, during our previous hearings, it was established already, and I wish to confirm this from our resource speaker, that that 125 million confidential fund of the OVP was spent only within the period of 11 days.
If we will base it on the date of check, I think it is equivalent to 11 days, ma'am, Mr. Chair.
Yes, and can we please flash the next slide? There. The utilization of confidential fund, 125 million, December 21 to December 31, 2022, and that is equivalent to 11 days. Do you confirm this, sir?
I confirm, Mr. Chair.
Now, let us look back to the 16 million portion of the 125 million confidential fund, which was used in the maintenance or rental of
Yan na,
safe
rental
houses.
sa safe houses.
This was liquidated by the use of 34 acknowledgement receipts. Do you confirm this?
15 million para
I
sa
cannot
safe
confirm
houses
it,
lang.
Mr. Chair, because I have no participation or knowledge with regard to the disbursement or the liquidation of the
I
confidential
understand.
funds.
Can we go back to Miss Villa del Rey? Ma'am, can we confirm that the
Mga
16
opisyalis yan ni
million
Sara.
portion of the 125 million confidential funds was liquidated by way of acknowledgement receipts, 34 acknowledgement receipts representing rental of safe houses?
I cannot confirm, Your Honor, since I have no personal knowledge on the disbursement and utilization of confidential fund.
Do we have a resource speaker who have knowledge about this acknowledgement receipt? There is none. Nevertheless, Mr. Chair, let this representation manifest that the records show that the 125 million confidential fund was approved for the last quarter of 2022, and 16 million out of the same amount was liquidated by way of 34 acknowledgement receipts representing rental of safe houses. And I wish to further manifest, Mr. Chair, that the lowest amount among the 34 acknowledgement receipt is 250,000, which was spent for 11 days, representing the rental of 22,000 per day for the said safe house. The highest amount of acknowledgement receipt, Mr. Chair, is 1 million. And if we divide this into 11 days, that would mean that the rental per day for the safe house is 90,000, way higher than the luxury hotels as previously presented and established in our hearings, Mr. Chair.
So 90,000, ha? 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 Mas mataas pa sa mga ordinary hotels, ha? Mga regular hotels. Although diyan, ha, sabi ni Imelda Talaugon, ha, sila Bill Gates, ha, sila paring Bill Gates, nagpumunta na rin diyan sa Amanpulo kung saan 90,000 plus per night ang rate sa mga kwan dyan, sa mga cottages diyan, ha. Sabi niya, Villa de Este, 5-star ng Como, Italy, 1,500 euro pataas. Marami daw Pilipino nagwo-work doon. Yan. Pero dito sa Amanpulo na ata ang pinakamataas. Or hindi natin alam, baka Balisin, hindi pa rin ako nakapunta diyan. Pero what is clear, kung ang mga informers nila ay yes, siyempre yung mga nagkatrabaho yan ng mga NPA, kaya kilala nila yung mga NPA, sino mga commander ng NPA, for sure, nandyan lang yan nakabase sa mga baryo-baryo. So, it is unlikely na ilagay mo yan sa Amanpulo. Siyempre, ilagay mo rin sa safe house na malayo sa sibilisasyon, malayo sa mga turista. So, mga ordinary bahay lang talaga irerenta mo, yung mga Airbnb, para hindi masyado mabisto at hindi malagay sa peligro yung buhay nila. Kung ilagay mo yun sa Amanpulo, di mabibisto talaga at baka papatayin pa sila ng mga kalaban nila doon, ng military o sino ba. So, taka talaga ito mga operations ng mga bata ni Sara. Napalibasa, akala nila mga eksperto na talaga sila. Ngayon wala, hinuhubaran na yung mga ops nila.
Mr.
Or
Chair,
binibisto
I
na
wish
yung
to
mga
go
ops
back
nila.
to Miss Villa del Rey. Ma'am, doon po sa letter to the DVM for the request for augmentation fund, the purpose that was cited, safe implementation of various projects and activities under the Good Governance Program. Do you confirm this?
Good Governance Program originated by Vice President Lenny Robredo.
I don't have knowledge of the request, Your Honor. I only have copy of the letter.
Can we please flash again the physical and financial plan? At least Ms. Villa del Rey, please confirm it from the document from the office of the OVP. It says safe implementation of OVP. I cannot read anymore. Would you know, Ms. Villa del Rey, if during the time of Vice President Robredo, there is good governance program also?
Yes, Your Honor.
And under Vice President Robredo's good governance program, may kasama po ba doon na maintenance of safe houses?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Then can you please...
So, meron rin si VP Lenny Robredo nag-introduce yung good governance program. Pero wala doon payment for safe houses. Kumbaga, kinuha nila yung pangalan, kinuha nila yung konsepto, pero ginamit nila, isinaksak nila at binaboy nila at isinama nila yung mga safe houses doon. Anong relasyon ng good governance sa mga laban sa mga komunista or pagkukuha ng mga pagbibili ng impormasyon sa mga informants? Ang layo, di ba? And yet, kinopya nila kay VP Lenny Robredo. Ano pa yun? Sabi pa yun, ano pa yun si Cherry Hill? You are nothing but a third-rate copycat. Second-rate copycat. You are nothing but a trying hard second-rate copycat. Parang ganon.
Enlighten us. Bakit po dito sa good governance program ni Vice President Duterte may nasamang maintenance of safe houses under confidential fund?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, wala po akong knowledge doon sa disbursement and utilization ng confidential funds.
Nonetheless, Mr. Chair, I wish to manifest that although both Vice President Robredo and Vice President Duterte
Congresswoman Luistro, maybe we can ask Attorney Sanchez because I noticed that her name was included in that document.
Ms. Sanchez, Attorney Sanchez,
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
do you confirm that Vice President Robredo has good governance program also?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Would you confirm that under Vice President Robredo's good governance program, there is no confidential fund?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And would you further confirm that under Vice President Robredo's good governance program, there is no maintenance of safe houses?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
Please enlighten us. Bakit po pagdating sa programa, same program, good governance program of Vice President Duterte, biglang nagkaroon ng confidential fund, biglang nagkaroon ng maintenance of safe houses?
Your Honor, the budget was proposed by the Office of the Vice President. And it would be for different programs, Your Honor. But as to the details, Your Honor, I do not have information on the specific details and items to be spent under the confidential expense.
Would it
Your
be
Honor.
correct to say that the key officials of Vice President Duterte altered the menu of the good governance program of then Vice President Robredo?
In short, binaboy ang good governance program ni VP Leni Robredo. Ginawang dahilan para magkatanggap ng limpak-limpak na pera.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, I think that would be a possible explanation, Your Honor.
And are they really allowed?
Oh, nilaglag na si Sara ng kwan niya ng opisyal niya Director for Administrative and Financial Services na si Attorney Rosalyn Sanchez na sinabi niya posible ginamit yung programa, good governance program ni VP Leni Robredo at Binaboy ni Sara.
Alter the program.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, from my understanding, Your Honor, yes, that may be allowed
Paglalaglag.
because in the budget of the OVP, there is a general item, Your Honor, only, which is the good governance program.
In other words, Attorney Sanchez, that good governance program is just a nomenclature.
It's like
And as to what will be the menu under the good governance program, that will depend on the Vice President. Am I correct?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, that is my understanding, Your Honor.
And who therefore prepared the program of the good governance program under the...
Tama itong si Music Lover. Nasa bundok ang mga rebelde. Saang safe house na malapit sa bundok ang magpapaupa ng 90 a day. Baka 900 a day lang, kaya mo na, o 500 a day lang, or 300 a day lang sa mga safe houses o mga bahay-bahayan dyan sa probinsya. Ha? Bakit kayang-kaya makuha sa 3,000 a month. O kaya mataas na dyan yung mga 6,000 a month. Ha? Doon sa amin, mga 3,000 lang. Meron ka na maupa ng mga room or mga maliliit na bahay. Or mga 5,000 lang, okay na, disenteng bahay na.
of Vice President Duterte?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, that would be the office of the Vice President, Your Honor.
Can you please
Mhm.
cite the name? Who in particular among the key officials prepared?
Your Honor, I do not have the specific information on who the particular persons who prepared, but the request was submitted to the Budget Division, Your Honor.
Nevertheless, Mr. Chair, in spite of the admission of Attorney Sanchez that they can alter what is clear, the program Good Governance under Vice President Duterte suddenly include confidential fund and maintenance of safe houses, items which were never seen and which were never included in the program of Vice President Robredo. Am I correct, ma'am?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Another important observation, Mr. Chair, Attorney Sanchez. Last quarter of December 20,
Anong to si Harry Chupeta? Sir, bakit di ka kasama sa Hong Kong? Anong meron sa Hong Kong, Harry Chupeta? Please enlighten us. Sino nasa Hong Kong?
22, OVP spent 16 million for maintenance of safe houses. Do you confirm?
I have no personal knowledge, Your Honor.
May we know if any one of you has personal knowledge about this? Ms. Villa del Rey?
None, Your Honor.
Nevertheless, let me finish this manifestation. 2022 last quarter, the OVP spent 16 million for maintenance of safe houses. This was followed by 2023 first quarter, another 16 million for maintenance of safe houses. This was followed by 2023 second quarter, another 16 million for maintenance of safe houses. And finally, 2023 third quarter, this time 5 million maintenance of safe houses. The only conclusion that I can derive from 2022 last quarter to the third quarter of 2023, meron kayong informants or assets whom you are keeping in the safe houses that the OVP is renting. The question, however, is, why suddenly, pagdating ng last quarter ng 2023, wala nang expenditure for safe houses or not even for confidential fund? San po napunta yung informant at assets nyo which you have been keeping in your safe houses from the last quarter of 2022 to the third quarter of 2023? Yun po ba inabandon ng OVP? Yun po ba biglang nag-disappear? I understand that you have no personal knowledge, but at least please give us a reasonable interpretation of what happened. Why suddenly, in the last quarter of 2023, nawala ang maintenance ng safe houses, which means nawala din ang informants at saka assets. Where did they go? Ms. Villa del Rey?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I cannot answer that question since I don't have really knowledge of the utilization of the confidential funds.
Attorney Sanchez?
Your Honor, I also apologize, same as the answer of Ms. Villa del Rey, Your Honor.
Mr. Kevin?
Same, Mr. Chair, I have no knowledge or participation in the utilization of the confidential funds.
Ms. Rabago?
Same, Mr. Chair. I don't have a personal knowledge on the utilization of the confidential
Ms.
funds.
Villa del Rey, can you at least tell us who has the personal knowledge over these matters?
Based on the JC and based on the issuance of cash advance, it is the special disbursing officer
Who
as
is?
the accountable officer.
Can you please cite the name of the special disbursing officer?
As shown in the check, Your Honor, it is Miss Gina Acosta.
And apart from Ms. Gina Acosta, who else has personal knowledge over these matters?
I don't have idea, Your Honor. I
And you
don't have
confirm
knowledge.
that Gina Acosta, the special disbursing officer, whom you described earlier as confidential official with salary grade.
Ayun, pwede na yan. Kasi may tanong si Emilda Talagod, Sir, sino-sino mga kasama? Ito yung mga apat na opisyalis ni VP Sara Duterte na disbursement officer, finance officer, administrative officer na consultant na sumipot. Pero meron pa apat, kasama na yung si Chief of Staff, yung si Lopez na kumaripas na papunta sa Amerika, ay pinalabas na ng arrest warrant para sa mga yun. So ito lang umapir, pero yun, nakita nyo naman naghuhugas kamay. Wala na silang alam. Dito sa tanong ni Luistro, may budget kayo first quarter para sa safe houses, 16 million. Second quarter, 16 million. Third quarter, 16 million. Last quarter, wala na. So ibig sabihin, ano nangyari? Nilaglag nyo? Pinatay nyo? Or biglang naglaho ang mga informants nyo? So dalawa lang yun. Either under operation, Save the Queen. Save the Queen. Pinatay na nila yung mga informants nila para hindi mag-testify sa Kongreso at Senado na hindi wala sila ng tanggap na pera. Pareho yung mga AFP officials o kaya wala talaga. Ghost informants talaga. So we will know that in the coming days, in the coming hearings. So for now, ito lang muna na bistado na talaga sila. At naintriga rin ako dito sa comment ni interesting ba't daw hindi tayo kasama sa Hong Kong, sabi ni Harry Chupeta. Nung nagtanong tayo, sabi ni Harry, andon lahat yung vlogger ni BBM. Libre. Number one, Harry, hindi naman tayo vlogger ni BBM. Kanina lang, binabanatan natin si BBM. At kahapon, yung banat sa kanya or yung challenge sa kanya ni Coco Pimentel kaninang umaga na ibalik na niya tayo sa ICC na hindi pa ginagawa ni Marcos. Kaya tanong natin, balak ba niya pumatay rin ng mga kapwa Pilipino niya? Bakit hindi pa niya ibinabalik tayo sa ICC? So marami rin nagalit sa atin. So in short, hindi tayo bata ni Marcos. Pangalawa, hindi rin tayo kasing cheap ng mga vlogger na ito. Kung ako yan, inoperan ako ng Hong Kong, hindi man sa pagyayabang, upakan ko sila. Tangina nyo. Andito ako, binubuwis ang buhay ko, binebenta ang kaluluwa ko. Pagkatapos, ang tingin nyo sa akin, Hong Kong lang. Hindi naman sa pagmamaliit, lalo na yung mga mahilig sa Hong Kong. Pero ako, mga 10 beses na pumunta ng Hong Kong. 10 beses na tayo pumunta ng Hong Kong. Hanggang in-invade nila yung West Philippine Sea at sinabi ko sa sarili ko, kahit ano pa mangyari, kasi marami kayo akong client sa abroad na dati, nung president and CEO pa ng company ko, marami akong kliyente na nasa abroad na nalalayuan sa Pilipinas at nagmi-meeting kami, nagkikita kami sa Hong Kong. Kaya wala akong nagsawa na ako sa Hong Kong, memorize ko na yung mga lugar sa Hong Kong, pati kung saan lugar maraming babae na taga mainland, magkano ang rate nila, memorize ko na. Pinagsawaan na natin yung ganyan, pati mga kliyente ko na dinadala ako dyan sa mga lugar na yan. Dyan tayo nagsha-shopping sa Hong Kong, pero nung pumutok yung issue ng West Philippine Sea, sabi ko, I will never go back to any Chinese country again. Never. Never. Kahit maganda naman ang Hong Kong. Maganda ang Hong Kong, kung maganda. At least hindi kasing init ng Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia. At least kasing lamig ng Taiwan. Pero hindi, China. Mag-Taiwan na lang ako. Parang insulto lang sa akin . Insulto lang sa akin kung dadalhin ako. Kung totoo yan, sino nag-isip niyan na dalhin yung mga Marcos vlogger sa Hong Kong? Iniinsulto mo si Marcos. Dapat dinala nyo sa Taiwan or dinala nyo sa bansa na hindi related or lumalaban rin sa China tulad din ko South Korea, padala nyo dyan sa South Korea. Ha? Napaka-anti-Pilipino nyo naman. Pero what do you expect, no? At saka kung ako nagpapahirap na, nag-risk na yung buhay ko, kasi pwede rin ako balikan ng mga Dutertards, yung mga killer ng Duterte. Sabihin ko na, gusto mo talaga ako pasayahin sa abroad, dalhin mo ako sa Austria para mabisita ko ulit yung lugar ng Sound of Music. Ganda-ganda doon, love na love ko yun. Dalhin mo ako para manood ako ulit ng concert sa Vienna. Ha? Dalhin mo ako kung gusto mo talagang i-impress ako na pag-ikwan mo ako, i-pamper mo ako, dalhin mo ako sa French Riviera, sa France. Dalhin mo ako kahit sa London o kahit wag naman sa Italy, mainit. Pero medyo malamig na rin ngayon. Dalhin mo ako sa Czech Republic. Maraming magaganda dyan, mga blue eyes, green eyes. So, kawawa naman itong mga vlogger. Napaka-cheap. Hong Kong lang, kawawa. Ganon rin, si Kibuloy rin. Pinadala rin yung mga garapata vloggers sa Hong Kong. Ano ba talaga yan? Napaka-cheap yun naman. Okay, hanggang dyan na lang tayo. So, in short, lumalabas na yung mga lahat ng baho at ang panawagan natin sa Marcos administration, nagsimula na kayo imbestigahan itong confidential funds. I-trace back nyo na pati yung confidential funds ni Sara sa Davao. Ha? I'm also interested to know kung ganito ba rin ang pattern, kung nandun rin ba si Mary Grace Piatos sa mga resibo sa 400 million yearly confidential funds ni Sara. Yun. Si Polo Carpio, di ako magsasawa sa Taiwan kaysa sa Hong Kong. Tama, agree. Ako rin. In fact, dadali namin yung mga anak ko sa South Korea for the New Year. Yun. Okay. So, hanggang dito lang muna tayo. Thank you very much everyone for watching. At let's call it a day for today. Medyo pagod na rin si Bat. So, goodbye na muna tayo. Thank you very much everyone for watching. And I'll be seeing you in my next vlog.